Fired Trump aide Omarosa today released yet another audio recording she secretly recorded. This time featuring Trump campaign staffers Lynne Patton and Katrina Pearson discussing a rumor that President Trump was caught on tape using the N-word.
I said, well, sir, can you think of any time that this might have happened? And he said no.
Well, that's not true.
He goes, how do you think cancel it? That's what you just said, Omarosa, which is, well, it depends on what scenario you're talking about. And he said, well, why don't you just go ahead and put it to bed? I don't know what the scandal is. No, he said it. He's embarrassed.
President Trump vehemently denies that he's been ever caught on tape using a racial slur. Joining me now for reaction is one of the people you heard on that recording, Lynne Patton, currently a senior advisor to Housing and Urban Development, Secretary Ben Carson there. It is great to see you, Lynne. Thank you so much for joining us exclusively tonight.
Great to be here, Laura. Thank you.
Tell us about that conversation that took place. The recording we just heard, it was just a part of a recording from October of 2016.
Sure.
Omarosa, you, and Katrina Pearson.
Of course. And first I want to start off by saying thank you so much for retweeting my statement last night. You know, I know it's been getting picked apart today, and that's really why I'm here, is because, you know, there's something seriously wrong with society when a woman can run around the White House and surreptitiously record people, possibly in violation of her own national security contract. But yet Katrina and I are the ones who have to come on national television and explain ourselves. You know, I've made it very clear, and I stand by my statement that I released last night, that, you know, the audio tapes that she's released, first of all, conflate two different conversations. One is with me, Omarosa, and Katrina. The other is also with me, Omarosa, Katrina, and Jason. But the distinction is muddled. And, you know, what you're hearing really, in my opinion, is not only verification that the president said very early on and very sternly and immediately that he did not use this derogatory term, but, you know, the more I hear this recording, what you're also hearing is a woman, Omarosa, who outright interrupts me during this interview and says, he said it, that's a lie. And, you know, why would she go work for him if that was the case?
Well, was she interrupting you, you think, at that point in the recording? She knew she was recording it, and she wanted her own little insurance policy? Because she wanted to get it on the record that, oh, no, he said it. And
well, you know, you raise a good point, because even my boyfriend this morning had said to me that, you know, the reason why Omarosa kept bringing this elusive N-word tape up is because she used it as opportunity to surreptitiously record me, obviously Katrina, possibly other people. This was something, you know, Omarosa has been obsessed with the N-word since 2004, when on Oprah Winfrey she accused one of the Apprentice contestants of calling her the N-word.
Well, but you were a friend of hers, Lynne, and you're a very well-respected person within the administration.
Thank you.
I've heard that from a lot of different people, from a lot of different parts of the government. You're extremely well-respected. So you said last night that you never participated in a conference call with Omarosa and Katrina, and yet then we hear a recording of you in a conference call with Omarosa. So I read that, and I was like a little confused. Like, how did you forget that?
Clarify, Laura. What I said expressly was that we refuted what Omarosa had told Chuck Todd and Savannah Guthrie, which was that we participated in a conference call that confirmed Frank Luntz had heard Donald Trump say the N-word. That never happened.
Ah, okay.
But
so you did participate in calls, but just not a call as it was described by her.
We never denied multiple calls about the elusive N-word tape or Apprentice tape, because Omarosa, again, was obsessed with this imaginary and quite frankly, fictitious figment of her imagination, which I now know to believe. But she was obsessed with tracking down something that she created.
Lynne, what kind of person is she? You were friends with her, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, she's known the president for 15 years. She was extremely loyal to him up until the day she wasn't. You know, the president obviously is extremely loyal to people who are loyal to him. He gave her multiple chances. And what's really sad here, Laura, is that the president gave her an opportunity to really help the African American community. And instead, she did the exact opposite by blocking, you know, reputable Republicans, black Republicans, and influential members of the community to advance her own standing to the detriment of this White House.
This was what she said today with Katie Tur responding to President basically saying it's good that John Kelly fired her like a dog. Let's watch.
The president called you a dog this morning. What's your reaction?
I think that it just shows you that if he would say that publicly, what else would he say about me privately? He has absolutely no respect for women, for African Americans, as evidenced by him instructing the chief of staff to lock me for 2 hours in the Situation Room to harass me, to threaten me and say that things could get very ugly for me and that there would be damage to my reputation. He is unfit to be in this office and to serve as the president.
Your reaction, Lynn?
Well, you know, as I was saying earlier, the president has called a lot of people dogs. He's called Mark Cuban a dog. He's called Robert Patterson a dog. He's called Bill Maher a dog. He's called Mitt Romney a dog. I mean, to me, that's not something that's either racial or, you know, specific to Omarosa. What he's doing is fighting back against somebody who has wronged him. And he has every right to do that by any means necessary. You know, Omarosa is in what I consider a purgatory. Neither the right or the left wants to claim her. And
yeah, the left is taking her now, though, Lynn.
Right,
the left is glomming onto her now. Well, real quick, do you know why she was fired? Really why she was fired?
Well, you know, I'm reading just like everybody else that it has to do with obviously grave violations of...
Was she riding around on a vehicle, a government vehicle?
Well,
to, like,
you know,
I
can actually verify that one time she asked me if I was with her at the White House. She said that she had to go meet somebody at this restaurant on 7th Street. You know, we both lived across the street from each other and different on Pennsylvania Avenue. We went via a White House car service to this restaurant. As soon as we walked in, she said, "Lynn, don't turn around, but has the SUV left yet?" And I looked, and he was still sitting there, and she said, "They're on to me. They're waiting to see if I come out of this restaurant." Because it was really only 2 blocks away from her apartment, and it occurred to me what she was doing. Here I am standing in the foyer of this restaurant with Omarosa trying to hide.
Oh my gosh,
you know,
Lynn.
and I said, and the hostess is looking at us, and I'm mortified because I thought we were actually meeting somebody there.
Okay,
so,
well, so
you
she
know,
used government vehicles for personal
This was her
trips.
MO.
Yeah.
That was her
well,
MO.
All right, Lynn,
And
thank you so much for joining us tonight.
I just want to say one last thing, Laura.
real quick.
The American people are sick of hearing about Omarosa. You said they're sick of hearing about Stormy Daniels, and they're sick of hearing about collusion. It's time we focus on the things that they really need, our jobs, economy, health care, and infrastructure, and that's what my boss is doing.
And you wouldn't work for a racist president, and neither would any of the people I know in this
administration. You couldn't pay me enough money. There's not enough money in the world.
Bingo. Lynn, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.